I'm Juan Hernandez, Incident Meteorologist trainee here at the Aspen Acres Fire in Colorado. I'm here for the purpose of firefighter safety. So my purpose being specifically on this fire is to look at the weather conditions that are ongoing, look at what is going to happen in the future, and communicate that to the whole team, whether it's a couple hundred firefighters or in this case thousands of firefighters that are out there on the field. As an incident meteorologist, we look for specific conditions. We look for conditions that are going to lead to critical fire growth or some kind of change. To talk about a couple of those conditions, we're looking at wind speeds that are relatively high or relative humidities that are low. So all that comes together, and that's what sometimes generates those big fire growth days. When it comes to specific communities, we have to look at their location with respect to the fire. And we start thinking about that when it comes to any kind of plans for the next day. So if the winds are going to come out at a specific direction, we'll make sure to communicate those risks to those that are planning for the next day. And that way, that message can get communicated over to the public, to those firefighters, in case there is any additional need for support. One important element that we look at is the probability of thunderstorms. Thunderstorms play a huge role in those small changes in the fire activity. Now, when it comes to firefighter safety, we're always looking at downburst winds from these thunderstorms. Those thunderstorms can create erratic and gusty winds that are outside of the normal conditions. Those same conditions can also lead to fire activity that is unexpected. So when it comes to how or when conditions are going to change, we look at those thunderstorms specifically. Now, we don't always know exactly where they're going to develop, but as soon as they develop, we communicate that to our incident command and the team, again, for the safety of those firefighters. A day in the life of an IMET, it starts out pretty early. We wake up around 4:30, look at the weather models, and we usually have our first briefing by 5:30 in the morning. And then we continue on with the briefings. For example, we brief the entire crew right around 6 a.m. and then those briefings just continue throughout the day. We do have a little break in the briefings midday, but that's our time to start looking at the weather forecast, make sure we have that dialed in so that those firefighters know exactly what to expect. And then we pick up the briefings again in the afternoon and we start planning for the next day. Now, I got interested in the IMET program a roundabout way. So I grew up in Southern California, and every summer we would see the embers and the glow up in the mountains. When I was in elementary school, we would have ash coming down and we would have to stay indoors for a couple of days. And that kind of sparked my interest in what at that time I didn't know it would be fire weather. Fast forward about 15, 20 years, and then I become a meteorologist. And then I found out that through the National Weather Service, we can get training to get us involved in the safety of firefighters. In fact, I've only been doing this for about 2 years, but it's very rewarding. It's rewarding to see the impact and the not only the impact to the firefighters, but also the impact to the community and how grateful they are that we're here to serve the firefighters, and by serving the firefighters, we're also serving the community.